Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Priyanka from CS Priyanka's Professional Classes. Today again I came with a new video that is form of business organization, and I named it as part 1 because here I have only included the different types and forms of business organization, and I also explained all those forms of different organization, but I have included the procedure on how to form such a business organization in the other video, and I named that video as part 2. And one more thing, that this video is not only for CS Foundation, this video is also for CS Executive students. Only the difference is CS Foundation is going to get MCQs and CS Executive are going to get broad questions from here. So hope you will like my video. Let's start. What is business organization? What does this mean actually? Business organization means business organization is an entity which aimed at carrying on commercial enterprises by providing goods or services to meet needs of the customer. So if you ask what do you mean by business organization, so first we have to think about what is business. So what is business actually? So business is something or some an entity which actually you carry some of the commercial activities via that business, okay, for by providing goods or services to meet or the needs of the customer, and also with a hope of getting money or profit like that. So obviously, so the organization, whatever you are opening for doing the business, such organization is known as business organization. So you have to remember some points like business organization, first of all, is an entity, and now entity can be of any times. Various forms are there. So we will discuss later. So through that forms you can do business. That's the first one. Whenever you have opened one entity, you have to conduct some of the commercial activities. Okay, you have to perform some of the commercial activities. And how? By providing goods. Either you will provide goods, that means you will buying or selling of goods, or else buying and selling of services. And also beside this, you need to meet the needs of the customer. That is what customer wants. Accordingly, you have to bring all those requirements so that for the improvement of your business. So such is known as business organization. So now, uh, after knowing the meaning of business organization, now it is needed to know what are the features of such business organization. Okay, once you open an entity for doing a business, okay, to doing a business, so what are the features will be there, will be engaged or involved with such business organization. So I have included 8 features. First of all, first point is a structure. You have to take care of the structure of your business. What do you mean by the structure? That means you have to give more importance on your object. What is your actually structure in the sense, in the form of capital, it may be in the form of projects, it may be in the form of employees also, can it may be. On the basis of your structure, it will be determined as small, medium, large scale. So first of all, first feature of the business is a structure. What is actually the structure of your business? That you have to know. Next is, what are the processes? Okay, so features is many process need to be involved in such business organization. So whenever you are going to do business via any type of entity you will open, that is of any type of forms of a business organization you can start with. And if whenever you are going to do any business from there, that from that organization, so first of all, what are the process you are going to follow? That is a process, or your organization follows what type of processes. Third is relationship. You have to maintain a cordial relationship with the employees as well as customer, creditors, etc., etc., suppliers, whoever correspondences relating to your businesses are there. You have to maintain a good relationship with that person. Next is authority and responsibility. Authority in the sense, what is your obligations, authority. Who are your authority? Where you need to intimate. For example, like if you open a company, then ROC is your authority, CG is your authority. So in such cases, we comply with as per their regulation by filing forms. So that means you have to also identify what type of entity you are opening, okay, and who are your authority, okay, who is your authority and what are the obligations you are having relating to that authority. Obligations in the sense you can say responsibility also. What are the responsibilities are involved that you have to comply with, okay, that authority. That authority may be municipality, that authority may be any type of societies act, it may be any type of ROC, SEBI, many authorities are there. Now your entity is who is the actual authority of your entity, that you have to identify and you have to comply with them as per the rules and regulation. Next is obviously performance. Okay, business, or whenever you are running a business organization, obviously performance matters. So how you're going to perform accordingly, your reputation, your everything is going to be depends on such performance. Your good customers, your improvement, if your company, your capital, your profit, okay, everything, your development, everything, whether you're going to get the work or not, all things are going to be depends on is on the best on your performance. So you have to perform good, okay. So you have to know the needs of the customer, accordingly you have to perform, then only you are there's a chance of getting more customers. So performance matters. Next is behavior of groups. So whatever groups are involved with your organization, how they are behaving, that also matters while running a business organization. So also behavior of a groups is one of the features or characteristics of business organization. Next comes to dealing in goods and services. Already we have discussed in the first slide, that is in the meaning of business organization, that always we've opened an organization to do business. So what is business? Either you are providing service or either you are providing goods. So it may be like you are selling or sales or purchase of goods, or else sales or purchase of services. So obviously if you are doing a business, it should be dealing in goods and services. Either it is deals with goods or else services. And in every business, risk is involved, risk is there. So every type of business, risk involvement will be there. So that also you have to be prepared, or mentally you have to be prepared from before starting your business. So risk involvement is also one of the important characteristics under business organization. Now we are going to discuss what are the features of an ideal form of business organization. So guys, there are different and there are many forms of business organization. So we will discuss it in the future slides. So now we are going to discuss what are the characteristics of an ideal forms of business organization. Okay. So you have to understand that only business organization and ideal form or different forms of business organization, there is a minor difference. If you're talking about only business organization, we are talking about overall, we are throwing towards one. But whenever we are discussing about forms of business organization, you have to remember there are many forms under business organization. It may be sole proprietorship, it may be company, it may be company means under company, private company, public company, cooperative societies, trust, many things are coming. So we are going to talk about the features of such forms of business organization. First point, easy of formation. That means whenever you are going to form such you are going to form in the sense whenever you're going to incorporate or you are going to register or whenever you're going to form an entity, okay, you have to comply with the legal formalities, paperwork are very limited, and the cost and time involvement should also be minimal. So obviously, so whenever you are going to form such business organization, ideal form of business organization, which will be very much suitable for you people, like there are many forms of business organization. Now which will become ideal? So whichever will become ideal, how you're going to choose. Okay, so how you're going to choose such form which is fruitful for you, or which are going to be suitable for you, whose legal formalities are less, whose paperwork are less, obviously are limited, as well as also the cost and also time involved should also be the minimal. So whenever we will see such things are satisfying, then only we are going to choose any of the form from that for my business. Next point, raising capital or as well as finance, same meaning. That means every business, for running business, we need capital. So without capital we cannot run business, or we cannot start business, okay, as well. So every business needs to raise capital at the beginning only. Third, nature of liability. You have to uh, do the R&D, that is research and development, that what are the means which form you're going to choose, and what are the liability and responsibilities or accountability are involved with such form. So obviously liability of the parties involved in the business can be limited or unlimited. So many forms we are going to discuss where you will see there are limited liability, or many forms are there which is involved with unlimited liability. Now you should aware of such liability of the parties involved in the business, okay, because liability can be limited, it can be unlimited. Next point, scope of control. Control will be with the owner of the firm. You have to keep in mind. Whenever control means your business control, it should be in the hand of the owner. Okay, it should not go to the outsider. Any third party should not control your business. So that is also, that is the scope of control. Fifth point, continuity and stability. Stability and continuity is essential for the success of any business. Also, this will allow the owners to plan for the future and carry out their long-term plans without interruption or disturbances. Obviously, whenever you want to continue your business, obviously stability is required. So you has to be stable. So it should not be in a dynamic nature. Obviously, we know business is a dynamic, so it keeps on changing. But I'm talking about business, not the technology. Technology can be the dynamic in nature, but business should have some stability so that you can continue for a long term. If it is stable enough, if your business is stable enough, if your customers are fixed, if your profit or income is fixed, then we can call it like you are having work in your hand. We call it, it's a stable form. So stability is very much required in a business to continue for a long run. Otherwise, it may cause damage or harm to your business. Okay, further you may not continue with such flexibility. So you have to maintain the stability in your entity. Next, point number 6, flexibility. Every business function in a very complex and dynamic. Okay, every business function is very complex and dynamic. What does this mean? That I already said, because business is very dynamic in nature. It keeps on changing. Today some different situation, tomorrow some different situation may come. Okay, so that's why it is flexible in nature. So flexibility is required to their operation to adopt the succeed in the changing environment. So every day the environment is changing, the technology is changing, our world is changing, our country is changing, the government is implementing lot of different rules and regulation on us. So obviously there is change, so keeps on changing. It is a dynamic in nature. So accordingly our business also should have that should be flexible, and that capacity our business should have, so that it can adapt and succeed in the changing environment. So it should adjust with the changing environment. That's why this uh, adaptability should be there, required from the business side. That's why flexibility is also one of the feature where you have to keep in mind. It may be flexible. Whenever the flexible situation will come, your business should adapt with such environment. Otherwise what happen, you cannot continue your business for a long run. Next point, next feature, secrecy. Many businesses are there which require secrecy about their record and processes. Okay, so many businesses are are there whose main feature is to keep the confidential information with them only. So in such cases also you need to aware relating to such correspondences, secrecy, how to maintain the secrets, okay, how you're going to control the environment, all these things you have to keep in your mind. So secrecy is also one of the characteristics or features under the ideal form of business organization. Whether like secrecy, I can give you example, like whenever you are going to choose any forms of organization, you have to keep in mind whether uh, after choosing whenever you are going to choose any forms, so whether you can keep anything secrets there or not, whether it is suitable for keeping any confidential information secrets or not. These things you have to keep in mind. And lastly always you have to keep in mind, whatever business you are doing, it should be lawful. Lawful means legal, valid. It should not be unlawful. Unlawful, I can say you that invalid or which is against law. Okay, it should not be fraudulent, it should not be against public policy. You have to keep in mind all these things. Okay, it should not be against public policy. You should not involved with such smugglings or banned goods. So you have to keep in mind that whatever you will do, it should be legal. So the choice of business, whenever you are going to choose your business, what type of business you are going to do under your entity or your business organization, it should be legal in nature. Cannot be no, means there can be no illegal activities or transactions. So not a single, you should not do any illegal activities or transaction under your business organization. So this also you have to keep in mind. This is one of the important feature. Now this is important for you. So now we are going to discuss about the forms of business organization. How many forms of business organizations are there and what are those? Point number one, sole proprietorship. It is formed, managed and controlled by one individual. You know, from the name itself, it is clear sole. Okay, a single person is doing business. From there, this concept came, that is sole proprietorship. So whenever any business is formed or managed and controlled by only one individual, one person, that is known as sole proprietorship. Next is HUF, Hindu Undivided Family Business. This is actually a family business. See, HUF consists of all individuals who are lineally descendants from a common ancestors and also comprises of unmarried daughters. Having a common ancestor is a prerequisite to form a HUF. Hindu Undivided Family is actually a family business. This concept is very old, where registration is not required. And here what happened, all the persons, whoever is uh, there as whoever is doing the business, all are coming by their birth status. Okay, that means all the sons, unmarried daughters, okay, will do business. And here the full control will be in the hand of Karta. Okay, Karta is only liable for everything. Karta is not going to means he is not answerable to anyone. This is the Hindu Undivided Family Business. So this is totally a family business, a old concept. Third point is partnership. You all know partnership means two or more individuals forms a partnership form to do a business, and their main intention is to earn profit, and they have to share profit. If any partners rejects to share profit, then as per act, that person cannot be treated as a partner. So what do you mean by partnership? An association of two or more people as partners, or they are forming together, or they are forming partnership by an agreement, partnership deed. They will enter into a deed, that is partnership deed, and via that agreement they are going to form their firm, and for by that firm, and their main objective is to do business. Okay, obviously whenever they are going to enter into a partnership deed, obviously that is formed for a certain period or a specific period, etc., etc., for a long term. for to achieve certain particular objectives. So to achieve certain objectives, so whenever two or more people are associating together to do business, we call them as a partner. And whenever they are working as a partner, obviously they have to enter into a partnership means relationship. That is, they have to they have to enter into a partnership agreement or deed. And partnership farm registration is actually not mandatory. Actually, it is optional in nature. You can register, you may not register. You means you may register, you may not register. Now the difference is, like, if you don't register your farm, you are not going to enjoy the legal benefits. That is the only difference. Next is company. Company already we discussed in the other slide in my channel under Companies Act 2013. Again, I'm telling what is company actually. This is an artificial person which is created by law, having a separate legal entity, because company means, and the company is separate from its members, shareholders, directors, everyone. That's mean its identity is there, separate identity is there. So that's why we call them as a separate legal entity with a perpetual succession and common seal. Perpetual succession means once it forms, it is exists till winding up. So in between, whatever happens is not going to, until and unless anyone apply for manually, means apply manually for winding up or liquidation, it will still exist in the register of government. Common seal means, it's a sale. Before it was mandatory, but nowadays it is optional. You may give, you may not give. So now to make a papers or documents valid, only two signature is required. One is company secretary, another one is the signature of a director. Means if there is a two director, then MD should sign. Okay, the managing director should sign. So only this two signature is required to make a paper valid. Next come, these three are coming under the company only. Okay, detail you are going to get, you will get in other videos, whatever is there in my channel relating to the Companies Act 2013. But here, though it is also forms of business organization, by opening this type of companies, you can do business. So we will discuss some little bit. So like private company, a company whose shares may not be offered to the public for sale, and which operates under the legal requirement less strict than those of the public companies. So obviously private company is less strict than the public one, because it's a private. We don't offer shares to the public in the private company. Here minimum members is 2 required to form private company, maximum 200. As well as whenever you are forming any private company, so you have to affix PVT along with the name. You have to affix PVT.LTD. And number of directors also required, minimum 2, maximum 15. So this is all about private company. You can open private company for doing business. Second form is public company. Under company, public company also, public company may be listed or unlisted. That means if it is public unlisted company, that means its shares are not listed with any recognized stock exchange. But if public listed company, if your shares are being listed with any recognized stock exchange, in such situation we call such company as a public listed company. In such situation, such company needs to comply with SEBI also, SEBI and SICRA. And this type of company whose shares are traded freely on any stock exchanges. This is a public company. By opening public company also, you can do your business. And next one is 1% company. This is the other form of sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship means you are individual. One person is doing business. Now, 1% company means single person is doing business by opening a company. So, a company that has only one person as to its member, say that person means the requirement is that, okay, that person should be ROI, that is resident of India. This is the only requirement. So if any person is ROI, can open OPC, that is a 1% company. And same person is a member, same person is the director, same person is everything. Okay. Only here one minor clause is there, that is though only one person. So it may happen that if he falls sick or in his absence, who is going to take care of his business? Okay, business will be closed. So as per act it is written, if anyone is opening OPC, so that person should appoint any person as his nominee. Okay, so that nominee is going to take care. So after the death of that member or the actual person or subscriber of OPC, that nominee will become a member. Again, the things will go on. So this is one person company. So if anyone, any individual person wants to do business, okay, alone, okay, by opening a company, then he can open one person company. Next form, statutory bodies and corporation. You can do your business from through statutory bodies also, or corporation also. This is a type of corporate body which is actually established or regulated by parliament or state legislature. So we called, these are also coming under statutory company. If you are asked what do you mean by statutory company, statutory word means legal or law, and statutory companies or statutory bodies actually is a type of this is also a type of corporate body like other company also. The difference is like it is established and fully regulated by parliament or state legislature. Here, obviously, if you open any type of corporate this statutory bodies, so obviously we're going to get support from the government side more. Next form is cooperative societies and trust. You know, trust is a legal arrangement. These are all coming under the non-profit making organization. So trust is a legal arrangement in which a person holds property for the sake of other person. Society is an association of person who comes together to fulfill any particular purpose described under the act. So obviously society is an area, actually society. In that area, if you are having any property and you are using such property in the for non-profit making organization, we call it trust. So the person who is giving the property, okay, such person is known as author, and the person who is taking care of such property and giving support also, that person is known as trustee. And for whose benefit all these things are being done, it's known as beneficiary. So also you can work or you can do your business by opening any type of cooperative societies and trust, but you have to register all these things under the specific act, under the Cooperative Societies Act. Next form is point number 10, LLP, limited liability or partnership. Now guys, this is totally different from partnership, because whenever we are opening or we want to do business by opening a LLP firm, limited liability partnership, we don't follow Partnership Act. We follow LLP Act 2008. So a separate act is there to regulate this particular firm or company. Actually, LLP is a body corporate. So LLP is a partnership in which some or all partners have limited liabilities. It is therefore can exhibit elements of partnership and corporation. So LLP is a entity which is actually the combination of partnership and a company. So some of the advantages they have taken from partnership, some of the advantages they have taken from the company. Okay, like this partners concept they have taken from the partnership, but though it is a body corporate. So body corporate means this is a separate legal entity. This is having a perpetual succession, common seal. It can sue others, can be sued by others. It can buy any property in its own name, can sell any property, whatever is in their name. So all these things are, they have are similar like a company. Okay, obviously contribution from the partners is also like a partnership. So these things, these are totally combination of partnership and company. In an LLP, each partner is not responsible or liable for another partner's misconduct or negligence. So obviously, like they are having limited liability. Na? Limited liability means whatever amount they are contributing, up to that only they are liability. They are liable up to that. Or we called it like in a company we have we read like the shareholders, liability of the shareholders are limited to the extent of shares held by them, or the limited to the extent of amount invested by them. Same here also. So in normal partnership act, one partner is responsible or liable for other partner. So other partner, if do any fraud or if involves himself with any fraudulent activities in the business activities or under the firm, so other partners are also equally liable for that. So this is also coming under the vicarious liability. That means one will be, if he is innocent also, still though he is a partner, he will be liable for other partner. But in LLP, this is not applicable. So here each partner, one partner is not responsible or liable for another partner's misconduct or negligence. Next form is association of person, AOP. It means two or more person who joins for a common purpose with a view to earn an income. The term person includes any company or association or body of individuals, whether incorporated or not. So association of person, that means where more than two people or two or more people are associating together. It's an association of two or more person. So they can form either any company or can society or association, anything. It may be incorporated or not, it may be registered or not, doesn't matter. But whatever they are doing, only to earn profit or earn income. Whatever they are doing, their main motive is to earn income. That's all. Okay, their either whatever their association or their societies, their company, whatever they form, two or more person, that may be registered, that may not be registered. But you have to remember their main intention is to earn income. Next is body of individuals. It's a same like association of person where two or more persons are associating together, or they are coming together to do something or to run a business to earn income. Same like body of individuals, lot of individuals are coming, group of individuals who comes together to achieve some common objective. So AOP and BOI is almost same concept. Lastly, we are going to discuss about the joint venture. Joint venture JV is a business arrangement in which two or more parties agree to pool their resources for the purpose of accomplishing a specific task. This task can be a new project or any other business activity. However, the venture in its own entity separate from the participants' other business interest. So, joint venture is also a different type of business where actually two or more parties agree to pool the resources. So, uh, this is also a very where two parties comes together to achieve some common objectives. Okay, here what happened, whenever you are working or you want to do means via joint venture, obviously you are getting lot of fresh ideas. Okay, disadvantages are there that you may not know them, you may not know their, you may not be comfortable with that person, there may be more clash with them, but still ideas will be there. Okay, a fresh ideas, incoming ideas will be there for doing a business. Obviously both of you are going to share the profit. It's a simply a commercial enterprise which is undertaken jointly by two or more parties, which otherwise retain their distinct identities, but their identities is going to be remain same. It's not like a merger or amalgamation. Clear? So they are going to maintain their own identities. After maintaining their own identities, they are going to perform, means they are going to run a commercial enterprise together. Okay, by using their own resources as well as by buying you means by using their own ideas. Okay, so and obviously the profit or income is going to be shared between two. So these are the forms of business organization. So if anyone wants to do business, they can choose any of the form from here and can start their business. So now we are going to discuss relating to the advantages and disadvantages of the different form of business organization. This is very important topic for everyone. So I have made this chart so that it will help you in many ways. So let us discuss. First, I have included sole proprietorship, whose advantages is obviously business is very simple to set up. No way, very much means not so much compliances like company. Okay, like because it's not regulated by central government, or all those compliances also need to be comply with ROCs, SEBI, all those things. So it is very minimal things are required to set up. So it's very simple in nature. Clear-cut decision making, second advantage, because only one person, he can decide anything. So it's a clear-cut decision making. No third person or second person is going to interfere. So whatever you will decide, you can do it. And thirdly, earnings are taxed only once as personal income. So whatever you will earn, obviously, just once you have, it needs to be personal income, means you have to file ITR and you have to pay the tax as personal income. Okay, whatever it will be treated, whatever income you will do by sole proprietorship business, it will be treated as your personal income. But there are some disadvantages are there. For example, owner has unlimited liability. Means if you need money or finance, there are no second person to help you or to give support. So in such cases, you are having unlimited liability. So you may to pay the money. It may happen that would have been touch your own personal asset. You are touching your own personal asset. You may sell your own personal asset for recover the money or to give the money or to pay the money. So obviously, full liability you have to take alone. No second person or third person is there to help or give support to you. That is one of the main disadvantages. Second is, owner makes the decision. So if the owner is shortfall, if there is a shortfall of decisions with the owner, then no second or third opinion is there to help that owner. So obviously, only the owner, whether the decision is correct or incorrect, it's totally for that owner will be liable. And third disadvantage is, no one is there to take care of the business after the owner. So business dies with the owner. If in absence of owner, no business. No one is going to take care or to take over the business from such individual, because only one person, sole proprietorship. So business normally dies with the owner. If owner dies, means business also dies. Second, partnership. What are the advantages to open a partnership firm? This is also, business is relatively easy to set up because less compliances. Next is, more than one management skills are available. Obviously, more than two partners, na? So obviously, someone will be there to tell you whether your decision is correct or incorrect, or they can give you much more ideas for your business. Okay, more skills you can get from other partners. And here also, tax will be treated as a personal income. Means every partner needs to pay tax separately. Okay, so earnings are taxed only once as personal income of the partners, because partners means they are not going to get the salary, right? They are going to share the profit. Okay, so obviously whatever profit they are getting, it's going to their personal income, personal account. So they have to pay the tax. It's treated as a personal income. It is going to be treated as a personal income of the partner. So accordingly, only once they have to pay the tax. But disadvantages are also there. Partners are also having unlimited liability. Like whatever it is, though there are a lot, means many to more than two partners, still they are having unlimited liability. That means their liabilities are not limited. So if any needs of finance or means if any money required, any type of monetary or consideration requirement in the business, so what happened, they to recover the money, they can touch the personal asset. Not like that, they have to pay it from any, how they have to pay it, they can sell their personal asset and they can pay towards their business, or they can recover the money. So in such way, all the partners are having unlimited liability until and unless they state separately at the time of entering into an agreement or partnership deed. If you separately include the clause that such partner is having limited liability, that is some other case. But other than that, normally all partners are having unlimited liability. Second is, decision making can be complicated. Complicated, obviously interference will be there. Na? If think you are correct in taking decisions, obviously the interference will come from the other partners, because whenever you are running a partnership firm, you cannot take decision alone without the consent of other partners. So in such cases, one decision is need to be approved by all the partners. So in such cases, taking decisions can be complicated. Company has a limited ability to raise capital because it's a partnership firm. So the partnership has a very limited ability to raise fund. They cannot raise fund like company. Okay, so like they cannot issue shares like a company. They cannot issue debenture while means to raise money. So it's a very limited for them. And partnerships are unstable. Unstable means you cannot ensure that partnership will be there for a long run. Okay, so it's a very unstable in nature. If anything happens, if partners quit, means you have to dissolve your partnership form again. You have to um, start your new partnership, because their name are reflecting in the partnership firm's name also, in the agreement also. There are a lot of things need to be changed. So full partnership things is unstable in nature. Next is HUF, Hindu Undivided Family. Uh, what are the advantages? Long-term orientation, because all the people are coming from the same family. Okay, and their designation is fixed by their birth. It's a status by birth. Okay, status quo. So it's a long term. No one is going to go there. No one can be removed. Also, no vacancy also very limited. Everyone is there. Everyone is coming from the family only. So father, then son, then next younger elder son, then younger son. After that, their children, grandchildren, all these people are coming. If in case of son, if you're talking about male members, and in case of female means unmarried daughters are also eligible to come there. So all are coming from the family. That's why it's a long-term orientation. Greater independence of action, because Karta is the main one who is the head of the family. Karta, who is only the liable for everything. Okay, in such cases, such karta means other people who are working, like it may be the grandchildren or son, is having a great independence on that his action, that is karta's action. And in HUF also, karta is not liable to answer to anyone, or is not going to explain anything to anyone. So in such cases also, no one knows nothing. So everyone is going to depend on karta only. So greater independence, you having no tension to run the business. Next is family culture as a source of pride. In HUF, there is a family culture. Okay, everyone is from the same family, so there is no differ. So everyone is having a same family culture. Financial benefits is also there, because they're getting from their own family itself. If one person needs money, so there is a father is there to give support. So if grandchildren are sitting now, if they don't need money, so obviously their fathers, their grandfathers are there to give support. So financial benefits obviously they get from their own family only. No need to go outside to collect money. Knowing the business from the childhood itself, by the birth itself, they're seeing that everyone is going to the same business, and they're very much used to with the business object and everything. So they know the business very well from their childhood. That is one of the advantages, that is knowing the business. But there are obviously some disadvantages are there. For example, less access to capital market may curtail the growth. So they cannot trade in the capital market. They cannot invest in the capital market, securities, shares. They cannot deal with share securities. Confusing organization. Simply don't know which act they are going to follow, or they are not being regulated by any type of rules and regulation or act. So that is a confusing organization. That means they are not disciplined in nature. Paternalistic rule, obviously what fathers will decide, or who the head of the family will decide, everyone is going to follow such rule. So no other legal rules are going to be applicable on HUF. So head of the family, whatever he will decide, others is going to follow the same thing. Financial strain, they cannot raise money from public also by issuing shares or all these things, whatever the companies um, used to get the benefits. So obviously, if family finance or money, if there is a shortage in the family one means family finance, if there is, for example, like family is having no such money to run their business, so obviously they are going to face family strain, though they are having no other option to raise money. And 5 is succession drama. Succession means, because this is a family business, now full that Transfer of Property Act is going to be applicable after date of the father, the property is going to whom, the either son, wife, all these succession things, like whether it is going to be divided between all the sons, all the children, or wife 50%, all these dramas is there in the HUF. So obviously the clash may start in such cases because the Succession Act is going to be applicable, succession dramas. Now property's owner, they're going to find out who is the property owner. The owner will suddenly change. There may be the clash. So all these brothers, who is going to be the owner, the property is going to be distributed between either all the brothers or between the sons or wives. All this succession dramas is there in case of HUF. Next is company. Company is like advantages are there because limited liability, because company, those who works under the company or shareholders, they're having limited liability because shareholders are the main subscriber. So their liability is limited to the extent of shares held by them. That's all. They're not going to touch their personal asset to recover the money. Continuity of the business, they can continue their business by any way. There are many options, many acts, many rules to rehabilitate their company in case if they become sick. And the very easy, third is easier to raise capital. Other than normal capital, also they can easily raise capital by issuing shares, debentures, stock, bonds, etc. in type of securities. Okay, so it is very much easier for company to raise capital. Potential employee benefits, obviously they are going to appoint lot of employees, directors, KMPs are available. So they are totally means they are very much potential. So a company gets lot of potential employee benefits to run their business, and lot of tax advantages are also there relating, it's on the based on of their business or the company, what type of company they are running. On the base of of that, they are going to get the tax benefit. Similarly, disadvantages are also there because it's very expensive to set up, because a lot of compliances compared to other whatever we read till now. Okay, lot of compliances, lot of forms need to be filed with ROC, with government, and for that separate fees need to be submitted as per act. All these are expensive in nature. Lot of legal formalities you have, the companies needs to comply, otherwise lot of penalties they need to pay to the authorities. Many administrative works needed compared to the others. It is very difficult to shut down because company is having a perpetual succession. I already discussed the detail of perpetual succession. That means a company will exist from incorporation till winding up. In between, whatever is going on or whatever will happen doesn't matter. It's not going to affect the company. So once it is formed means, until and unless you manually file for winding up or liquidation, it's going to be there. It will exist in the register of the government. And lastly is need for personal guarantees. So it also requires some personal guarantees. No one is there to give the personal guarantees. So that is one of the disadvantages. Next come to statutory bodies and corporation. Advantages: expert management, because fully regulated by parliament as well as or state legislature. So expert management will be there. Internal autonomy, responsible to parliament, because the parliament regulates na, so they are fully answerable and responsible to parliament. Lot of flexibilities are there because lot of rules and rules actually keeps on changing for them by the parliament and state legislature. That's why flexibility in nature, not so much strict. Promotion of national interest, they actually promote the national interest because parliament formed them for the national interest. And it's very easy to raise fund because they get the government support always. Disadvantages is there: difficult formation because lot of compliances relating to the government things. So they are need to comply many things with the government. That is a very difficult in nature. Inflexibility in such cases also. Lot of inflexibility is also there because they cannot do what they want. So for every situation they have to take permission from the parliament or state legislature who formed them. In such situation it is inflexible, not flexible. Excess accountability, lot of responsibility is there towards means in their head, because they are totally means they are totally answerable and totally responsible towards the parliament, because they are answerable to the parliament and state legislature. That's why they are having excess accountability. Directly they have to face the government. And clash of divergent interest. They may be having a separate, different interest compared to the government. So there can be the clash of divergence, though this diversion, though their interests are diverted, due to this clash may happens with the government. So this is one of the disadvantages. That means what they decide, they cannot do such thing like sole proprietorship or partnership, because government is there standing as a wall in front of them. So in such cases, this is one of the disadvantages we can say. Next is cooperative societies trust. Advantages: easy formation, very easy to form. Open membership, anyone can come and join. No such qualification required. It's a very stable in nature. They can continue for a long run. Limited liability. It's not unlimited in nature, because it's so trust now. So they are doing something good for the societies. Non-profit making organization. Low prices compared to the company and all, and government support obviously they are going to get, because they are going to do something social services. So whenever they are doing any social services or they are opening the trust, obviously government support they are going to get, and for that also tax benefit also there. So disadvantages is also there. Lack of capital, because they cannot raise capital like company anytime. Efficient management will not be there, because there is no potential employees there in the trust. Lack of unity among members, because open membership, na, anyone can come and join and can do social service. So maybe unity may not be there. No one is there to motivate you. Okay. So lack of motivation. Cash trading happens usually, because whenever we are doing anything good for the societies, we don't give through wallet, net banking, checks, all these things. We have to pay the cash to them for buying any silly things, for the betterment of any area, for betterment of the people, individuals. Okay. To remove the poverty, all these things. And also difficult to maintain the business secrecy, because though it is a easy means open membership, na, and also government is going to support you, and you are doing the public service, and you are going wants to do something social service. In such cases, you cannot maintain the secrecy. So it is very difficult for this type of form of business to maintain secrets. Next, come to LLP. Advantages, I said already, LLP is a body corporate, so it is having a separate legal entity. It is very easy to establish, because very much less compliances. No minimum capital contribution is fixed in the Act, LLP Act 2008. Okay, so any partner can contribute anything as per how much they can afford, as means they can contribute. So no such fixed amount is there mentioned in the Act. So no requirement of minimum capital contribution. This is also one of the advantages. Flexibility without imposing detailed legal and procedural requirement. It's very much flexible in nature. So uh, no means not so much procedural requirement is required in case of LLP, and also detailed legal and procedural requirement are not going to be imposed on LLP, because it's very flexible in nature. So there is one of the advantages I would like to say, ki whenever they are entering into an agreement, LLP agreement, the partners are having access, as per Act, they are having access to include whatever they want into the agreement. But once the agreement is done, they have to follow that agreement. They are bound by that agreement. So after that, if they want to change, they can change it. They can change it. They have to amend legally. Then again, they can follow the same. So that's why a lot of flexibility are involved there. Next is easy to dissolve or wind up. It is very easy for the partners to quit anytime. No such requirement or legal requirements are there. And tax rate is lower. This is also one of the advantages. Disadvantages also there. They cannot raise fund from the public like company. Under some cases, liability may extend to personal asset of the partners. They are partners now. They are their business are going on the best of their contribution. So in cases their liability are not limited, unlimited. Some cases their liability extends to um, like personal, they may have like they would have touched the personal asset to recover the money or to pay towards their firm or business. So that is the case. They may have the unlimited liability. Though all the partners contributes equally, they shares the profit, whatever is there, there is no boss and employee relationship. So no separation of management from the owner. So same like partners, that all are owners, all are management people. So no one is going to get any help or instruction from anyone. So if they take any decision, they have to take the approval from all the partners, then only they can implement such decision. So this is also one of the disadvantages. Any act of the partner without the other may bind the LLP. Already I discussed, like this is not a partnership act. Like if any, for example, all the partnership with all the partners enter into an agreement. So whenever they are forming that LLP, any other partners act for the due to the other partners act, other partners also may get other partners also, others may bind the LLP. Okay, for example, like in any in act of the partners without the other, for example, one partner is doing some activities or fraud, other partners may not know. In such cases also, in such cases other partners are not liable. In such cases na, they are alone. That means they are totally separate from other partners. In partnership, what happened? All the partners are, one partner is going to be liable for other partners act. But here one partner is not going to be liable for others partners act. In such cases, what happened? If one partner's act is something else, so other partners act is not going to change. So they may bind the LLP. So they have to follow the rules and regulation. Next is AOP or BOI, that is association of person or body of individual. There are advantages. Suitable for short-term business plan, because we have already discussed in such situation, two or more people comes together and start business to achieve something, and their main intention is to earn income, and their entity may be registered, may not be registered. So this is a short-term business plan. If they have a long term, then they should have registered their entity. No formality relating to the formation required. No such formalities or legal requirements are there for AOP and BOI. An intention to earn income from some business activities is enough to such organization. So to form such organization, only the intention, your intention should be there to earn income. That's all. That is enough to start this AOP or BOI. It is very easy to wind up, and it is a very suitable for special purpose vehicle and international commercial billing. This is SPV, we called it. Like it's a one parent company is means one parent company is opening a subsidiary company. In such cases, they are doing some work for to achieve some objectives, and their main intention will be earn money. So this in AOI or BOI, maximum type of special purpose entity means this for this type of entity is actually do all this type of work, that is SPV. So special purpose entity is a legal entity which is created to fulfill narrow, means whatever your object, that was only to satisfy or a specific object is there, and to achieve that specific objective, you are opening that special purpose vehicle, that you are opening something for a special purpose actually. So it is actually typically used by the companies to isolate the firms from financial risk actually. And it is fenced organization having a very limited predefined purposes and a legal personality. So AOP and PI is having means this type of things very much suitable for SPV as well as international commercial billing. So these are the advantages. And what are the disadvantages? They are not disciplined in nature. That's why no formal setup of organization is there. So it's not disciplined in nature. So whatever they are doing, it's fully unstable. Income is important, not the business. They're only thinking about the income, not the business. Now, first of all, to earn money, you have to think about the business. How much business means your business should be good enough to earn money. So in case your income is only important, not the business, is a very much unstable in nature, and it's very much flexible in nature also, not stable, and cannot run. You cannot run it for a long run. And it's not a purpose of wealthy creation. You cannot, because though you are opening for a specific purpose, it's not a purpose of wealthy creation. Wealthy creation is for a long term. Your focus will be for a long term, your plannings will be for a long term. So here all are totally absent. So in absence of all these things, your purpose, there is no purpose of wealthy creation. Only whatever you will do, your intention is to earn income from such object. And lastly, joint venture. What are the advantages of joint venture? I already said joint venture means two different skills are coming and joining together, but they will maintain their identity. New insights and expertise you may get from here. Better resources, obviously. Both parties shares the risk and cost. In case of risk also, both parties are going to share, and cost also. It's very flexible in nature, and flexible means keeps on changing, so you have to adapt yourself to adjust with such environment. And it helps to build good relationship and network, because two different entities coming and working together, na? And they're also maintaining their own identity, so a lot of networks you are going from two sides. That is a good thing. Advantages. Now come to disadvantages. Objectives are totally vague. So they are this is one of the disadvantages, that they are having vague objectives. So they are having totally their whatever their thoughts or whatever they will do, totally it's imbalance in nature. So whatever they are having, not a they cannot focus on a specific objectives. So what they wants to do, they don't have that certainty. We can say that it's a very uncertain objectives, or indefinite or unclear character of the objectives they carries. Great imbalance. Obviously, if the two parties are of different culture, there may be the clash of culture. Limited outside opportunities. Okay, outside opportunities, they are not going to get more. A lot of research and planning are necessary. So though only two parties works, na, so lot of research and plannings required to make their business stable, okay, and to run for a long term. So that's all, friends. So here I have included only all these things. So um, in my second part video, you're going to get the all the procedure and steps relating to these forms of business organization, how to form this or how you are going to form or register these different types of business organization. I have included full detail in the second part of video. Hope you will like my video. So guys, please don't forget to like, share, as well as subscribe my channel. So bye, see you in the next video.